So this is really difficult for me to talk about. I don't know why. It just feels very awkward. And I just want to say the first step for you in terms of changing who you are is accepting who you are. And I think that this is one of the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and NA and Narcotics Anonymous and all those kind of things, but it's very true in terms of accepting yourself for what it is and what you're doing, is actually looking at who you are and having that deep introspection and spending some time of saying, instead of thinking it's everybody else's fault and why are people treating me in this way? Why can't I get this relationship to work? Why can't I resonate with other people? It really comes down to you making the changes in one or two ways. And I want to talk about that. So if you don't know me, I'm Professor Dave Maslach. I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people who help me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward to help you out. So a lot of people watch this channel for, business success or graduate school success, or, how to become successful in life and all that kind of stuff. And there's really not a lot to it. And I don't know, some of you have probably paid a lot of money to take courses and all that kind of stuff and spent all sorts of fortunes on that. And really, the biggest thing is just coming to terms with who you are and accepting who you are and being okay with that, and being okay with poking and prodding at the things that you're like, you can use a little bit of improvement here. And it is really hard to do those things, to accept who you are and to take that step forward, to be brave with who you are. Doing this right now in a park, in public, for me to be talking, it's really hard for me to do this. I'm naturally a very shy person. It's always been part of me to be a very shy person. But being very public and doing this is really, really challenging. But I gotta practice it. And every once in a while, every couple of weeks, I get this wave of sweat, I guess, that comes over me. Wave of emotion that comes over me. I think, what the heck am I doing? This is nuts. What am I actually doing here? I'm like, everybody is making fun of me. And the truth is most people don't care. Some people shrug their shoulders. The truth is all of that, it's in your head. And the more that you can come to terms with accepting who you are and being okay with that, the more that you can do things that are going to stretch and allow you to grow and to become successful, whatever that is. The first way is acknowledging that you do have flaws and you are imperfect, and you might end up taking some courses or learning something, or watching some videos on how to communicate and talk to, maybe it's your son or your daughter. That takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage to do that. to go back to school, and to admit that I ain't perfect. Most people, 99% of this people, I'm telling you, 99% of the people in this world can never do that. And they never will. They're just, for whatever reason, there's all sorts of stuff, lots of stuff, that holds them back and makes them admit that they can't do this. This is the reason why we have issues with, weight and people overspending and all of these kind of things, like not being able to save things, not being able to do all sorts of things. And it's simply because they're unwilling to admit that they need help, that they can stop and say, hey, somebody else can help me, and I'm okay with that. So there's that component of it, being willing to do that. But then there's the opposite side of it, where you are willing to accept those things that just are uniquely you, and being okay with that. And being that it's part of your life, and it's who you are. Like my shyness, my insecurities, all of that stuff that's inside of me, my nervousness. If I was to speak in front of more than 5 people, I get very anxious, a social anxiety, my ADHD that I have, and I can't remember a damn thing. All of those things are who I am. And I have to be willing to accept those things. And once I'm willing to accept those things, I can talk about it publicly. I can do things where I don't feel shame and anxiety from that stuff anymore. I felt an enormous amount of shame and anxiety, and I feel it right now, just from not being able to remember things and not being, things just go in my ears and out the other. I have a lot of emotion there still, but it's coming up, and being able to speak about it, being able to say, I'm imperfect and I'm okay. That's a big step. So acceptance, I think, is something that we all need to work on. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, how much money you make, how much money you don't make, and what kind of food you eat, all that kind of stuff. We got to be okay with that acceptance. And knowing that you can change a lot of things in your life, you can work on them, but knowing that that is just your unique thing, and being okay with that unique thing, and that's golden. That is the things that will actually lead you to become successful, will allow you to do really remarkable things, because you just simply accept, become who you actually want to become at that moment, and you stop fighting it. I know that this is challenging for everybody to think about, but we need to take those positive steps and be okay with me talking to a cell phone. And I know that there's people around looking at me thinking that I'm crazy. Being okay with that. And that is something that my social anxiety is driven by, and I can tell you, like, pinpoint the moment in high school. The moments where I was picked on and, considered, and, I just so wanted to belong. I just was like desperate to belong and to have friends. And that held me back for a long time. It still does, but I'm okay to talk about it publicly on freaking cell phone cameras. But that is okay. We have to be okay with that. So, accept yourself for what it is. Make those positive changes. It's hard. It's the only way that we grow, though, and become successful. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.